The Deputy President Kindiki has sent a dangerous warning to President William Ruto. Welcome to Kenyan Media, where we bring you news updates as they break, and kindly if you are new here, consider subscribing. Now, the Deputy President Kindiki has for the first time sent a warning to President William Ruto. Is after for the first time acknowledging that his position as a running mate to William Ruto ahead of the 2027 general election is not guaranteed, and therefore signaling a notable change in the tone amid rising political speculation. The remarks were made during the development rally in Tharaka Nithi County on Wednesday. It was a routine government event focused on development, focused on progress, but the message that emerged carried political weight. For the first time since speculation began, Deputy President Kindiki addressed the question directly, not with certainty, not with a firm claim, but with acknowledgement. The leadership positions are temporary, and that change is always possible. It marked a shift, a clear departure from earlier positions where the assumption of continuity appeared stronger. Now the message is different, more measured, more open, and more aligned with the realities of political decision-making. The Deputy President emphasized that the leadership is not permanent, that roles can change, and that decision about the future would be part of a broader political process. And this acknowledgement comes at a time when interest in the Deputy President position is now growing within political circles, within government ranks, and among supporters across the country. Several names have already been mentioned, figures with significant political influence, figures with national recognition. Among them is Hassan Joho, a key figure in the current administration and a leader with a strong political base at the coast. Also mentioned is Musalia Mudavadi, a veteran politician with years of experience in national leadership and history of participation in previous presidential contests. Another name has emerged, and that is Gladys Wanga, a county leader with growing national visibility and a political figure who has increasingly become part of the national conversations. The mention of these names reflects a wider dynamic, a dynamic where positions are not static, where alliances evolve, and where political calculations are constantly being reassessed. But even as speculations grows, the Deputy President's message remained focused not on individuals, not on competition, but on unity. He urged leaders and supporters to continue backing the administration, to remain focused on the agenda, and to avoid divisions that could weaken its direction. The emphasis on the unity is significant, and especially at a time when internal political conversations are becoming more visible. As the country gradually moves closer to the next general election, such discussions are expected to intensify. But for now, the official message from within government remains consistent: focus on delivery, focus on development, and maintain cohesion. The Deputy President's remarks also reflect an understanding on political reality that leadership positions are influenced by multiple factors: party strategy, regional balance, and national interests, and evolving political alliances. And in this context, we acknowledge that of uncertainty may be seen as a recognition of that process, rather than a definitive statement on what lies ahead. The comments also come in the shadow of broader political commentary, including remarks from the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who has previously weighed it on the issue. Gachagua dismissed the ongoing debate around the running mate position as a distraction. He maintained that regardless of who occupies the slot, the political contest in 2027 will remain highly competitive. The perspective adds another layer to the conversation, one that shifts focus away from individual positions and towards the larger electoral landscape, a landscape that is already beginning to take shape, even with the election still some distance away. For many Kenyans, these discussions may appear earlier, but within political circles, preparations often begin long before formal campaigns. Alignments are formed, strategies are developed, and also positions are considered. The deputy president's remarks now place him within the evolving conversation, not as someone asserting uncertainty, but as a leader acknowledging possibility and preparing for different outcomes. At the same time, his focus on unity suggests an effort to maintain stability, to ensure that speculation does not translate into division, and to keep attention on the administration's ongoing work. In Tharaka Nithi, the setting of the announcement, the focus remained on the development of projects, on government programs, and on service delivery, but the political undertone was clear. Because leadership discussions at that level are never isolated, they connect to broader questions about direction, about continuity, and about the future of governance. For supporters of the administration, the message may serve as a reassurance that regardless of changes, the broader agenda remains intact. For political observers, it provides insight into how leaders are positioning themselves and how conversations around 2027 are beginning to unfold. The coming months are likely to bring more clarity, more statements, more alignments, and possibly more speculation. But for now, the deputy president's words stand as a defining moment, a moment where certainty gave way to acknowledgement, where firmness shifted to openness, and where the political conversation moved one step forward. In Kenya's evolving political landscape, such moments matter. They shape perception, they influence strategy, and they signal the direction of future debates. As attention gradually shifts towards the next general election, the focus will remain on leadership, on alliances, and on the choices that will define the ballot. But beyond the positions, beyond the speculation, the underlying question remains how the country moves forward and how leaders navigate the balance between ambition and unity. For now, the message from the deputy president is clear. In politics, no position is permanent, and the path to the future remains open. That is all for today from Kenya Lens Media, and kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing as a way of motivating us and also helping us grow this platform.